everybody. I'm so excited to have a wonderful guest, Scott Sage, here to our On Deck with Dawson and Dawson. Hey, Scott, how you doing?
Hey, Kathy. Nice to see you. Thanks for having me on the show.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here. Scott is the principal broker and owner of Sage Financial Innovations, which is a really great company. And I'm excited to share with you his expertise on helping people kind of go into the next level of their finances. So, Scott, tell us a little bit about what Sage Financial Innovations does for their clients.
Well, Kathy, for the last 25 years, plus years, I should say, we've been working with business owners and entrepreneurs to help them really create and protect their wealth and help several stages of their business cycles. We help them from the financial services side, from building their relationships with their employees and building their relationships with their advisors and helping them along the way to create success for themselves.
Wow, that's a really unique approach, isn't it? Most people that are in your industry seem to be just about getting the money.
Getting the money. Well,
I know money is important, so I get that. So tell us what you mean when you talk about inspiring confidence in your clients.
Well, what I found is a lot of individuals and clients and entrepreneurs and business owners, they're really, really good at running a business, and some of them have challenges also and need some assistance. And so what we found, or what I've heard back from my clients, is really that our organization inspires confidence. And what we do is really try to close the trap doors for them that they're unaware of.
I
A lot
see.
of trap doors out there that they're not aware of. And since we've been seeing so many people over the last 25 years, we've seen and witnessed many of those. And so what we do is try to make sure that those are shut.
I see.
And that's inspiring confidence in them so that they can go and do their business and feel comfortable with their financial planning side.
Oh my gosh. And it is the unknown, the fear of the unknown for most of us that we just don't know. And, you know, we hope we get to a point where we have something to worry about. And when we're there, we're like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do now? And you're right. We don't have the confidence. And I can say personally that I referred you a client that is now an employee of mine who has had amazing results with you. And she actually got to do the job of her dreams, which is working for us because of your consultative approach with her and helping her understand that it really wasn't something she couldn't do, but she should look at it. So that is amazing sort of ability you have to take someone's information and listen to what they want to do and then try to navigate a way for them to get where they really want to go. So what does that mean? You know, that whole unique thing about how you do that. I don't understand. How does that work? Tell our listeners.
Well, I like to put it in terms of like, imagine thinking something different, right? Because everyone gets stuck in a little bit of a mental situation. It's like, oh my gosh, am I doing everything right?
Sure.
Second opinion. Am I going down the right pathway? And so what we do is kind of put all those pieces together. And we call it a TLC program, where it's really seeing things in totality, making things sustainable and having longevity and changing along the way. And then also just making things really clear and simple and clarity. What I find is when you do that for clients, then that again inspires confidence and helps them to really feel good about what they've done.
You bet. Yeah, there's nothing better than talking to an expert like you and realizing you're going to be okay.
Well, thank you, Kathy.
So let's see. How have you and your clients been impacted by COVID?
Well, I don't think there's anybody on the earth that hasn't been impacted by COVID. And of course, I feel that in my view, on a personal side, empathy is everywhere now, and people have a better feelings about what's important to them in life, and family and friends and everything else, employees and businesses. So I think on the personal side, it's had a huge impact. And then on the business side, what we found is it was a great time to reach back out to clients and ask them questions on how you can support them. You know, we went out to many of our clients and we helped them arrange PPP loans.
Wow.
Basically, you know, I don't want to say it saved their business, but it really has saved many businesses.
You bet.
And doing that, and I don't do PPP loans, I'm not on that side of it, but what we look at is being an advisor to these clients to help them through those tough stages, because every business owner is going to have a tough stage. There's business cycles, there's life cycles. And what we do as a group, and especially through the COVID, is try to say, hey, gosh, have you looked at this, or have you looked at that? And
Right.
are you working with your advisors in this sort of planning? This is what we're seeing going on today to help your business navigate through this tough time.
That's wonderful. You were going to tell us a story about one of your clients. And I love a story because I think it really sends the message home. So he was a carpenter, is that right?
Well, I have this client, and every time I go out there, all he says is, all I want to be is a carpenter. You know, and you go out and he's got shorts on, he's got 2 different colored socks, and his shirt's ripped, and he's got hair coming out of his chest. And he's quite a character, right? Well, so he started out being a carpenter, and all of a sudden he's got, 500 employees, and he's built tons and tons of fire stations, libraries, schools, and everything else.
Wow.
And so we were able to help or work with him, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to work with him through all those different business transition stages, for when he was starting up to when he got to a middle-sized company, and then help him with the exit planning strategy on the back side of the business also.
Outstanding.
It's just wonderful to have those guys that still have that big heart.
Yeah.
But then, it's also time to turn into a business professional. Want to see statements, financial people want to see documents, and you need to really gather a team around you, because it's one thing helping to create that sort of program, but then it's really back to the wealth preservation on the back end side too, because you want to have your assets protected.
You bet.
And you really want to, why is it happening? What it's all about.
Yeah.
And why are you doing those things?
You got it. I just wonder, are his socks matching today?
Sadly, or not sadly.
Probably not.
They're not.
But it's okay.
He's not going to change my shitty,
It's okay. It's totally okay. As long as everything else is taken care of, we don't care what color his socks are, right?
He does it on purpose, I'm sure.
I love it. Well, I only have one more question, last but not least, and that is, why do you do what you do? You have such a great reputation, and everybody that knows you loves you, and not just for your business, but because you have a very giving and caring heart, and you just have a way of making things better. You're a great communicator. You're a loyal friend, a trusted advisor for sure. So why do you do what you do?
Well, it's interesting. I just had a big focal meeting with my team last week, and we had the vision for the next 5 years. And that's the question that we ask ourselves is, why are we doing this? What's the impact that we're going to be able to make? And so we set a goal to help 125,000 individuals over the next 5 years.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. And so then you go, well, how are we going to do that, right? And what we're doing is we're looking at what we've done in the past, okay? We've helped hundreds of thousands of individuals with retirement plans and financial planning. So that's a big goal for us, and we're setting up not the tools, but the goal line to do that, and we think we can impact it, and that's our goal. And it's
amazing.
Exciting, because what happens is when we set those goals, it gets you up in the morning.
125,000, it better be early.
There's a definite earliness to getting up to do that, but it's also being very strategic about how you're going to help those people and who you're going to be working with in terms of the businesses also.
That's outstanding, Scott. You are clearly a very expert in your field, a good expert, and you know what you're doing. And all of our listeners would be lucky to work with you. So you guys reach out to Scott. He's an amazing advisor, but more than that, he's a great friend, and he'll help you no matter what. Even if he can't help you, he'll find somebody that can, right? That's what's so great about you.
That's what moves my meter.
No, that's awesome. Well, Scott, thank you so much for being on the show. We really appreciate it. It's been great. And I know a lot of people are going to get a lot of information from you and on this, because it is very different to rewire instead of retire.
I like it.
Take care, Scott. Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.